Oh, look at me. I know films better than anyone else. Let me write an article about something I wrote and I didn't really even bother trying to participate in creating.
I've got something to say about this movie, book, music, play. Nah, nah, nah.
Welcome back to the Gentleman's Sit Down. We are an untraditional podcast.
Trying to be traditional gentlemen.
I am Siderius Lemitius.
And I'm Joshua Callahan.
Links in the description for our social medias in the description below. If you enjoy this episode,
And you will.
leave a like, leave a comment, share with a friend, please.
Yeah.
Hey, subscribe, follow.
Hey.
Hit a notification bell if that's
Get
what's
subscriptions. Get subscriptions.
there. Yeah.
Of videos, including ours. We know you have a catalog of things that you like. We want to be a part of that catalog.
That's right.
I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking about this next topic.
Well, you know what? You can start it off.
Oh, we're talking about critics. In a general sense. Not necessarily movies, but, you know, when one thinks critic, you think movie critic, right? And it's like, listen, I like a good review. I kind of want a heads up if something's good, if I'm going to check it out, whether it be a TV show, a movie, or especially before, you know, my time is precious. You know, time is money here. Tell me if it's good or not. Don't spoil it for me, and don't give me your friggin' intellectual answers because you're trying to impress your professor from college, like what you know about Chiaroscuro or some other kind of convoluted topic that just tell me if it was good or bad. Tell me what it's like. Relate it to something. Boom, get out. I mean, that's how I feel overall about critics. I feel like they spoil things too much because if you're really going to critique something, you got to spoil it. You got to tell us the third act lands or something doesn't work by spoiling it.
Yeah, I don't really read critics. I don't get involved. You know, every time I do, it's just, you know, it's always
do that.
It's always negative. I feel like it's always negative, especially the films that people like. They're always negative about, and I'm like, you know what? To me, it just feels like this stuffed up, pretentious, know-it-all is coming on, and he's like, yeah, I didn't like this film, or I didn't like this book, or I didn't like this thing because blah 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 blah. And I was like, I don't care what you think. You're not a revolutionary person. You're not a revolutionist. You're just an individual writing your opinion.
And they don't take in consideration a genre and appreciate people going to see let's think about movies. Like, for instance, I love the Marvel movies. Regardless of what you say, I like to go and have a good time. It's a good ride, and they can be thoughtful and they can be allegorical, teach me a little lesson or whatever. I enjoy them, and they are nostalgic for me because I used to read the comic books. Anyways, they always want to relate it to the AFI Top 100 movies. Like, it's not trying to be that. Okay, don't compare it to Citizen Kane because you know what? It doesn't compare.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to compare this apple to a cricket. Doesn't make any sense. One's an insect, one's a fruit. Okay? One makes music, one just sits there. But that's kind of how I feel about it. I feel like, they're always trying to compare it to the greatest movie. And, they want everything to be great. And you can say, like, why shouldn't they do that? Because it's not the movie it's trying to be. I think you got to respect that going into like a situation, even if it's a play. Mm-hmm. It's not trying to be Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman.
Yeah.
Don't compare it to that.
Yeah.
Just because it's set in a city in America, you want to compare it to Eugene O'Neill. Like, come on, relax. But I do like a good review. I think a side thing, like I know that you said like most of them are negative and you stay away from it. Sometimes it's a necessary evil because I don't know. I remember when I would do plays, we were so dependent upon getting the word out there and we needed somebody to come review it. And any press is good press is what they say. Bad review is still good for the show because people want to come out and see it or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. And as a young actor, I'd always, well, what do they say about me? The character or whatever, what do they say about?
Yeah.
But I learned very, very, very quickly to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just one person's opinion, That's how I see it. It's like, why do I care about this guy's opinion? Like, or girls' opinion, a woman's opinion. Yeah. That's why I don't like, I'd rather judge for myself. That's why I don't really read them. Like, especially if I'm going to go watch a film, it's like, oh, critics are saying this. It's like, I don't really care what critics are saying. If I'm interested in seeing the film, then I'm going to see it and judge it for myself. If I end up feeling like the film sucked, then okay, at least I came to the conclusion. But if I feel like it was awesome and they said it sucked and I listened to their review, I probably wouldn't have gone to see it. And I don't want to be that guy.
And art is such in the eye of the beholder.
That too,
like same thing with food critics. You don't tell me how it tastes, okay? Okay. I'm going to taste it and put it in my mouth and tell you how I think it tastes, okay? That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Like you think about but I think a lot of not basic people. I was about to say basic people. I think people in general, that's how I wanted to word it. They depend upon a little heads up, a Yelp review or something you always hear about, or some critique about something they're going to check out for the first time. I used to do that a long time ago. And I think as far as movies go, I used to enjoy Entertainment Weekly. They would do these quick reviews and they would be quick and they'd tell you how, this is a sci-fi movie and it feels like it's trying to be this or that, but go out and check it out if you want something fun. But if you're looking for some serious content about whatever the subject matter is, you may not like it. You give me a little back and forth and then I can land somewhere in the middle. One thing that I do now, instead of that, since I don't got Entertainment Weekly as a magazine, really doesn't come out very often, Entertainment Monthly, kind of aggravated by that. But I like the Rotten Tomatoes, not because of the critics' reviews and the Rotten Tomato meter, which I can get in, I don't understand that, but I compare the critics' review to the audience review, and I like to see the difference. And I know sometimes I land in the middle of that. You got to find your own metric.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like critics, they go in with the mentality of, I need to severely break this thing down. That's their job,
Yeah.
Their job is, I need to break this down and I need to judge it, based off of a metric that I've developed as a critic. So that's what they do. And, I don't hate critics. I don't think they're horrible people. I just feel like, why?
They think highly of themselves?
No, I mean, yeah, I know I said that earlier. I said that before. I was like, oh, yeah, they got this pretentious attitude, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like you need to have that if you're going to go in. Like, it's going to sound like that no matter what, if you're going to go in and judge something, And that's their job. Their job is to judge things. That's why they're critics. I just don't feel like... I don't feel like a critic's opinion or critique of whatever it is that they critique for a living as a critic should be the final hearsay for people going to see something, read something, or eat something, or whatever.
You hear about that a lot for plays, shows, and even music.
Yeah.
Like those critics, there's some names. I don't know what the names are, but there's names like if you get the Joe Schmo review about this, it's going to be the definitive critique about that song or that play. Movies, everybody's doing it. You go online, you do something that's why they invented Rotten Tomatoes. They get 1,000 people talking about it and they give an average of what they liked it. And I don't understand that algorithm. I thought Rotten Tomatoes was supposed to be a bad thing. You mean 78% of your tomatoes are rotten? It sounds like a bad thing. But no, evidently it's a good thing. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know.
But right, it's usually the plays and the music. There's that one reviewer. That person will tell it like it is.
Yeah, like I've heard of that, where there's this
Stone magazine or something.
Yeah, there's some particular critics are well known throughout the industry, so you want to impress them. And if you don't impress them, then everybody's gonna hate
Yeah.
you. Nobody's gonna want to watch or listen to your
And
product
sometimes
or
that's
whatever.
the end all be all, like what you were
Yeah,
saying. And I agree. I don't like that. Like, it's
yeah. I
like,
don't think
listen,
that's necessary. I,
slow your roll, buddy.
I think critics should. I think I think critics should understand. In my opinion, I think a critic's role is to give their opinion, and give their educated opinion
Yeah.
because they're educated on the art or the subject matter that they're critiquing. So they give their educated opinion, but they should. I think they should respect that their role is just an educated opinion. It's not the
Yeah.
end all be all. People who are well versed or well educated in a subject matter, uh, and they happen to critique that piece or
Yeah.
whatever it is they're critiquing, it doesn't mean they're gonna get it right every time they critique it. They
Yeah.
might critique something, and I don't know, maybe they have a bad day or they've just been having a bad emotional week or
A
whatever,
lot of
and
them
they
feel like they have a bad day when they write sometimes.
yeah,
When I-
and like
feeling-
maybe they don't even feel like reviewing the topic, and so they don't really they have to sit there and deal with the job. Maybe they're just pissed off at their job that day, like any other person is about their job. It doesn't matter how great your job is. You have those days, and they're probably just sitting there and you're like, you know what, it sucks, bang bang bang. Like I couldn't even sit down for this film. But it's really they couldn't sit down for the film because they're they're tired of reviewing. Probably they're probably
life.
sick of their job right now. It's just they're in
I
a
got a
they're,
deadline. to
they're in
meet.
they're in a low point in their they're just feeling a low point right now, and they're like, you know what, I couldn't sit through this film because I was sick of it. Oh, this stupid person, this stupid scene. Fuck you. That's probably how they're feeling.
I hate how hypocritical they are because it's like they always want, oh, this movie's so derivative. I've seen it 1,000 times. I need something fresh and new. And then when someone tries something fresh or new, this guy's trying too hard to be fresh or new. It's like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Do you want something new and fresh, or do you just want to stink about something because it's old? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Give me an opinion and then step away. Okay. Don't go for the knife like in the back thing. I hated it, and here's how. And then use all your adjectives. Just give me some nouns about it. Just give me some nouns, relate it to something, whatever. Don't give me your colorful adjectives about how much you hated something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Critiques are good though, I mean, it's good to get critiques.
But the critiques are good.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. Critiques are good. It's good to get critiques. It's good to hear what you don't want to hear.
An artist is always getting critiqued.
Yeah.
That's when you step out on a stage or you put something out there for the first time. You want it to be critiqued by the public, the people who are going to view it. Yeah. And you get it. And nowadays in social media, everybody will tell you about it, And that's what we kind of want you to do with the podcast is like comment on something and give us a little critique. I think we can handle a critique, especially as artists.
Yeah. Because I think it to go with, I think it's more important to get the critique of the wide audience, because they're the ones that are going to be paying and watching or whatever. They're they're the ones getting involved.
There's a difference between critiquing something and trolling something to become notorious because of how negative you can be.
Yeah.
That's something completely different. Trolling is different.
Yeah. But it's important to get like when films come out, it should be more important on what the general audience thinks of the film versus what a critic thinks of the film. Okay? The same thing should be with a book or a song. If people like something and critics don't, but the big, wider base audience loves it and there's a lot of people getting involved, I think that's a little more important.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's the whole, you have a crap ton of people saying that they enjoy this. If you have a crap ton of people saying that they do not enjoy your product, your piece, and then you start, there was, famous incident with a certain trilogy. I'm not going to name it, but they were blaming the fans for not liking their film. And it's like, it's not the fans' fault that they don't like your films. It's not. It's your fault. It's your fault because you didn't think about the fans making the films when you made the films. So
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
I cut through the code.
Yeah, I'm not going to highlight
I got it.
we know what I'm referring to. And I don't mean that in
So
a
say it.
negative way. I'm
Okay.
just saying, like, you have fans for a reason. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Your project is only successful when the fans want it to be
Isn't that why we
successful.
do art? We do art because we have this idea and we have to express it and let it out. But
Yeah,
we have to understand as artists, once it's out there, it lives on its own, has a life of its own because of how people absorb it, take it in, or how it exists in history in the future, like how it, transcends time or doesn't.
yeah,
It's all part of that thing that we do.
yeah. So this is how I view critics and critiques. If I'm going in as a viewer or like a fan or like an audience member, I try to ignore the critics because I want to make my own judgment. But if I'm going in as an artist, then I want my ears to be open to criticism and critiques and all that.
Yeah.
Why? Because when I create an art, yes, I want to express something. When I create my piece, whatever it is, or whenever I'm trying to do anything artistic related, I want to put my message out there. I want to put my thoughts into this piece. I want my I want to impact the audience the way that I want to impact them. Now, if I then, as the artist, execute my piece or my work of art, and then audiences members uh, are reacting and critics are reacting a certain way, and maybe I don't like the reaction of audiences or critics, then I, as the artist, if I was a true genius artist, okay, or at least an intelligent artist, need to sit there and be like, okay, I didn't get the reaction I wanted. I didn't impact people the way I wanted to impact people with my art. Now I need to sit, reconfigure, listen to the critics and listen to the critiques from the audiences and sit down and figure out where I went wrong so that when I make the next project, I can try to take the right way, the more correct approach to get the reaction that I want to people to react with when viewing my piece of art. That's what an intelligent artist should be doing. That's the artist perspective versus the audience perspective when it comes to me.
That makes
Quick sum up. Audience member, ignore the critics so I can come to my own conclusion. As an artist, listen to the critics, listen to critiques because you're trying to impact people when you make a piece of art. And if you're not impacting people the right way, and they end up giving you a different impact or end up giving you a different reaction, then that means there might be something wrong with you and you got to be open to that.
yeah. My take on that as an artist, I would agree with most of what you're saying. I handle it like I take a critique from the people that I collaborate with more valued than a critique from someone outside the project looking in, especially while I'm doing it. Afterwards, it's just for fun. In other words, it's an opinion piece, and I like to hear opinions. And as an audience member or a viewer of art, it's how I approach it too. So, as an artist, I'd be like, let me listen to the critiques of those closest to the project here around me and I collaborate with, and then I can let something go and live on its own, right? I'm not trying, like, I'll know if I'm satisfied with that, if I accomplish something the way I approached it. Like, that accomplished what I wanted to do, right? And then if someone is critiquing, like a critic is saying something completely opposite, and then I have to reevaluate, it's like, I'm not going to reevaluate. I will take that information in and maybe it will have a positive effect on me going forward. But as an audience member, I like to take in a little review, a little taste, only if it's something like there are things that I'm going to watch, as it's this movie, this auteur, this actor, I'm going to see it. F what anybody says about it. Okay. And then do opinions after and like take it in. And then what I'll do, if it's something I don't know and I'm taking a risk on, then I will read a review and then leave it alone, watch a trailer or something if it has like that, enjoy it, make my own opinions, and then see how they stack up against other opinions, especially like I said, because I think critiques spoil a lot. Then I can listen to spoilers and hear what they have to say about stuff. They always say they don't want to spoil something. This is not giving away anything in the movie, but then they tell you how the theme. Well, you just spoiled it because now I know what's going to happen. It's going to end good. It's going to end well.
Yeah.
It has a happy ending, but I'm not giving anything away. You just did. So that's my take on critiques as an artist and as an audience.
Yeah. Like I said, I think criticism, critiques are necessary, but it depends on
Necessary evil or necessary
I don't think it's
good?
evil. I don't think it's evil or good. I think it's just a thing. I think it's just the reality of it. You know, it's just you know, you
Art
never.
is for reaction. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's always gonna be there, whether it's positive or negative. It's always gonna be there. It's nice to hear the positive, and the negative is hard to hear. But if you're someone who wants to genuinely improve, you're gonna listen to it.
Sometimes somebody's negative. I've done this with reviews. I was like, oh, that's why I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
Oh, you hate it because it's another like twist. They have a twist in it. It's another contrived twist. Like, well, you know what? I want something fresh with a fresh twist. Yeah, that's why I'm going to probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
What when you go see a movie that you don't know anything about, is there a metric that you like? IMDb does the 1 out of 10. You know, where does it land? Like 1 through 10, or do you like Rotten Tomatoes, or do you not? Like you don't read anything. You don't want to give it away, but do you look for a number, thumbs up, or
no? I don't even look for that. I don't look
stars.
I don't look at star ratings or like Rotten Tomatoes 78% or whatever. You know.
I look at a box office like too. It's like, oh, how good is a movie? Like even if the movie has, I want to know people loved it.
Yeah.
It means it's gonna be a sequel. No.
Yeah. No, I don't look at that. I kind of just, if I'm gonna go watch something, I try to, if I'm really interested in a film, I try to ignore as much trailers as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Only the initial trailer, which is like a teaser, which doesn't really give away anything. The teaser kind of just
maybe one trailer, early trailer.
Yeah, because the teaser, the role of the teaser is just to give the vibe of the film, and that's it. If after that, trailers start to give pieces of the story away to kind of get you invested, like, hey, this is kind of what our story's about.
Look who shows up in the final act. This guy.
Yeah.
Oh!
Spoiler. Yeah. So I try to, if I'm really interested in a film, I will avoid the trailers. But if I'm still like on edge, like, teaser, like, I don't really care for that vibe. I don't know if this is the film that I would like. Yeah, well, maybe I'd like it, but I don't know. Then the first trailer comes out. Then it's like, like I'm still trying to, I start watching trailers to kind of help me decide if I want to watch a film. But I only watch trailers to films that I'm considering watching.
Mm-hmm. What about awards? Do you think they speak about how good a film is, or do you still think it's a critic's effect?
Like award shows and stuff?
Yeah, like a Grammy to the thing, or a Tony to this, or an Oscar to a movie.
My honest opinion on award shows, I think award shows are great because they give that, they highlight the importance of art. Yeah, and the artists who
and they
were
promote
involved.
Something that maybe did not get the light. Of like a expensive.
Yeah, that's what I think about award shows.
Distribution.
But I think when they award people, I think sometimes there's a lot of like background politics going on, and sometimes the people that win aren't really the people that should have won, but because of the background politics, they won. I think that happens genuinely. So my opinion on award shows is I think they're necessary, but I think they're also flawed like anything else.
Because people create it. Because people do it. People are going to touch it. It's flawed. It's going to be flawed.
Exactly.
Nothing's perfect. So what? I give this podcast like 10 stars. 11 stars. I give it 11 because I'm in it. And you're in it. I give it 12 because you're in it too.
Boom. I'm only worth 2 stars.
No, you're 1 star. I'm 1 star above the content, which is 10 stars. That's how I was thinking.
I don't know. I think we covered it. Do you think we covered it?
I think we covered it. I think we, got 80% of the Rotten Tomatoes out of this talk. I don't know what that means. We're fresh.
Yeah. I mean, critics, they play a necessary role. I think that's how we should see it.
Everybody's opinions are like assholes, Everybody has one. So, like, some smell better than others. That's all.
Oh.
Is that too much?
No, I think you nailed it right there.
That's what my dad used to always say. I think you got it from a movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's kind of what I think. Everybody's going to have an opinion. I have opinions.
Yeah, everybody's
This is
got
what
an
we're
opinion.
doing here. We're sharing opinions. It causes discussion. I think it's great to talk about art. And I think it's great to shed light, even if it's a critical light, on something that may not otherwise get seen or somebody may not think about going to watch or see or read.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
I like it. I think we did cover it. Yeah. I don't know. It's an evolving topic. It happens every day.
Yeah. People are individuals, so they're gonna have individual perspectives, opinions on everything.
And
so
I can respect that.
yeah, and we should be able to respect
Yeah.
that.
Don't troll.
Don't troll. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a troll with boogers hanging
Now
out
they're
your
gonna do
nose.
it. Now they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
You know
now
what?
you're gonna troll.
Let yourself do. Go ahead. Go ahead. We got it.
Keep your oxymoronic, hypocritical trolling away from me.
Now they're definitely gonna come. All
Do
right.
it.
Well,
I dare you. Actually, don't do it. That means they're gonna do it.
yeah.
Don't leave a comment. We don't want them. They're gonna do it.
Thing one, thing two. Well,
Who you been?
I've been Ceterius Lemitius.
Ask me what, man.
Who you been?
Joshua Callahan.
We've been the Gentleman's Sit Down. We hope you have a great week. We'll catch you next week.
Peace.
Peace.